Hello everyone and welcome back to JT on the Go. Today we are in New York City to try out the Roosevelt Island Tramway.
To get to the Roosevelt Island Tramway where we stayed, we had to take the New York City subway, which stops in Roosevelt Island where the tram was. Only the F line will take you to Roosevelt Island. You also need your Metro card, which you would normally use to get on the New York City subway. The tram is not part of the MTA or the Metropolitan Transit Authority. It just uses the Metro card from the MTA. It will cost you $2.75 to go one way. We waited a few minutes for the tram to arrive. We got on board and we're off. The Roosevelt Island Tramway opened in 1970. If you look at the bridge on the right side of the tram, the road vehicles are passing the island and the tram just terminates on the island. So it is very important for the locals that live on Roosevelt Island to access the tram. There are other ways to get into Roosevelt Island. Like I said earlier, there is the New York City Subway F line. There is also a port for ferries to access the island as well. We are now coming back to where we started. It was a fun trip on the Roosevelt Island Tramway, but this video is not over because I need to show you something. It's this cookie restaurant. It's not just your average cookie restaurant. My dad told me that this place had the best cookies that you ever find. Make sure you get them hot right out of the oven. The cookies left to right are oatmeal raisin, Rocky Road, and chocolate chips with nuts. If you visit New York, I recommend trying out these cookies at Levain Bakery. The one we went to is right next to the New York City Subway Bleecker Street Station, which has the F, D, M, B, and 6 line trains stopping there. I tried the Rocky Road and chocolate chip. Thanks for watching this video. Subscribe if you haven't for more JT on the Go. This is JT on the Go signing off at Times Square.